Hey everybody, this is dHunter bringing you another action figure collection video. This is going to be episode 55 of dHunter's Batman-related unopened action figure collection. This consists of McFarlane DC Multiverse Year 2. All the McFarlane DC Multiverse figures were released in 2021. This is when stuff was still really fresh and new. McFarlane had a huge success with Year 1, and their output increased tremendously for Year 2. If you want to see how extensive my unopened Batman-related action figure collection is, check out episode 1, the overview. There will be a link in the description below. In this video, we're going to take a look at each of the figures. I get every single Batman-related figure to keep unopened, and I get every single McFarlane DC Multiverse figure they make open. So as you can see in front of you is every single Batman-related McFarlane DC Multiverse figure from 2021 still sealed, and I have everything out of the package as well. You can sort of treat this video as a complete collection or a checklist. We'll take a look at each figure, what I have open and unopened. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's see how we got to this point. Before we dig into this video, let's take a quick look at my overall action figure collection. Here's when I had everything laid out in the house. So I think I've finally done it. I've unpacked all of the figures. As you can see here, we have the Diamond Select Toys Gotham collection. Here's a bunch of my Mezco unopened figures. Some more Mattel stuff. Here's the Legends of the Dark Knight line. This is the Batman Power Attack line. Sort of Batman Unlimited. All my Justice League Unlimited stuff. This is the entire DC Direct and DC Collectibles Arkham collection. Mattel's 1966 line. DC Superhero Girls. All the different NECA Batman figures. Some Target exclusive line. All the amazing Yamaguchi figures back there. Some Spin Master stuff. The Mattel Batman Missions line. Of course, in the very back, it's my entire comic collection with all the recent McFarlane releases in front. And above that, got a bunch of DC Direct and Mattel figures in the last several years. Moving on, pretty much the entire Mattel's The Batman line. Back here in the back, got my SH Figure Arts Batman figures. This side, we've got all the different Mattel Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins figures. Massive amount of piles. Back here, we've got the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series figures, and a lot of them are on top as well. Can't wait to get to that video. That one and the Arkham collection and DC Universe Classics. Some videos I'm really excited to do. Here are the Mattel figures. I can see the Batman Legacy, Batman Unlimited. It goes all the way from the original Batman line. Here's the Batmobile. And it's going to go all the way to DC Superheroes, DC Universe Classics, and Multiverse. A ton of figures. Great era with Mattel. Fun stuff. But I do like what McFarlane's doing. But I do miss these days, that's for sure. Going back to Kenner and Hasbro, ton of Batman Beyond, Batman the Animated Series stuff. I mean, that just seemed endless to go through, my word. Look at these piles of unopened figures. Batman Animated Series continues all the way back here. Absolute ton of stuff just stacked up. On top of this table here, got all the Mafex figures and a bunch of one-offs. Some Hasbro. Some McFarlane, or Mattel rather, anniversary figures, amazing Yamaguchi, Kia Asima, all kind of different import type stuff. Then we've got JLA and Total Justice figures. And then on to all the rest of the DC Direct stuff. Bunch of DC Direct Batman related figures. Some more chill in the back here. And I filled up all these shelves temporarily, just storing all these DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And it's almost done. Here's the Mattel Batman Brave and the Bold line. I did not realize how extensive that got. And a ton more Brave and the Bold down here. Moving on again. Some old Toy Biz, Super Friends, and DC superhero figures. Leading into the Dark Knight collection. Then we'll go to the Batman Returns figures. And then, of course, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. There's a bunch of different Batcaves. And some more animated stuff in the back there. So here's the very first McFarlane DC Multiverse release from 2021. This is the Death Metal Batcycle. It's a very weird, stylized piece. A motorcycle with bones of a big, giant bat surrounding it. Very cool piece, but not very practical. This is not something that's going to be in Batman's Batcave. This isn't that weird Dark Knight's Metal and Death Metal universe, storyline, whatever. I remember this thing came out. It's pretty exciting. The first Batcycle in the line. You got to have the Batraptor, which is a superior vehicle to this. But this does look really cool. I remember pre-ordering this thing at Target. It was like stated to release one day. And I don't know, somehow it got messed up. And I didn't get it that day I was supposed to. And I had to wait till the next day. Cool vehicle. But like I said, very stylized and for a very specific storyline. I prefer stuff that I can put to my Batman armory. And this is definitely not going in your everyday Bat armory. So let's take a look. DC Multiverse Batcycle, 12 Plus, Death Metal, and there it is. It looks really cool. Big beady eyes, fangs, somehow his ears are even part of the skeleton, but it overall just looks cool. Death Metal Batcycle. On the back, other recent McFarlane releases. This is very much a Todd McFarlane type thing to do. Release a Batcycle that has a giant bat skeleton around it. Death Metal, Dark Knight's Metal is right up his alley. Here's the Death Metal Batcycle out of the package. Like I said, it's a badass vehicle. It's really cool. And it suits the Death Metal Batman, who hadn't actually been released quite yet. The texturing, the paint job, and just the badassery of it. But like I said, I would much prefer to have a more practical Batcycle. Next we have the Todd McFarlane designed Batman figure. Kind of a cool idea. Todd McFarlane has drawn Batman before, and he's big into the comics and Spawn, all that sort of stuff. Totally changed the game with Spider-Man and Venom. But for Todd McFarlane to take his own hand and design his own version of Batman, pretty cool, and it's exactly what you expect. Spikes all over him, knives. This guy actually looks pretty cool on the Death Metal Batcycle. Now we have two different versions. One is sort of like a dark blue and gray, and one is like a black and gray. This was the first Gold Label exclusive figure. It's not the first exclusive figure, but was the first introduced the Gold Label sort of subline or brand. And that just means it's exclusive to some sort of retailer. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was exclusive to Walmart. Possible it was Target, but I'm pretty sure it was Walmart. I remember finding one at Target and one at Walmart, and honestly, they look pretty similar when first glance, but the accessories, dead giveaway. So let's take a look. Batman here, got a Batarang, two giant, jagged, spiked knives, spikes all over his hands and arms. You don't want to fuck with this guy, but Batman would never dress up like this in the comics. Batman, designed by Todd McFarlane, sort of has this little signature up here. On the back, here he is posed up at Gotham City, and a bunch of other recent McFarlane figures. Then we have the Gold Label collection. He comes with different knives, some goggles for on top. Batman designed by Todd McFarlane. Pretty similar pose on the back. Here are both these Batman figures out of the package. On the left, the blue and gray, and on the right, the black and gray. The blue is so dark it almost looks like black. The guy has the goggles on the right, and they sort of look like a steampunk, post-apocalyptic, futuristic version of Batman. Now let's take a look at the New 52 Red Hood. This is the single release. This Red Hood is one of my favorite McFarlane DC Multiverse figures to date. It was one of my favorite figures in year one, and it had a re-release in year two. Year one, it came out a 2-pack with a red New 52 Nightwing and this Red Hood, and then we had a single release shortly after. I personally never saw this guy in stores, but I read about people finding him at Walgreens and at Target. I saw him at the CMD store for $19.99 at retail, so I ordered 2 of them, and it took like 6 weeks, but it finally arrived. And there's nothing different from the 2-pack version, which is kind of disappointing, but it's such a good figure, and there's so many different options to customize him. DC Multiverse, Red Hood. Here he is in the package. He has 2 pistols. Yes, this is a DC figure with guns. This is before the no gun mandate. Warner Brothers doesn't allow any officially licensed DC figures to come with guns. But they did in 2020 and in most of 2021. Red Hood from the New 52. On the back, Red Hood pose up. This is a panel from a New 52 Red Hood comic. And a bunch of other recent McFarlane figures. Here's this Red Hood out of the package. This figure is absolutely phenomenal. And it was so popular that McFarlane has sort of re-released it to death, but still really like him. So they kept releasing single figures. The line was met with very good response in the first year, and there was a huge demand for it. So next they had a Damian Wayne Robin, the Drowned, it's a Dark Knight's Metal Batman Aquaman hybrid that's gender swapped, and finally the Death Metal Batman for the Bat Cycle. In this wave, they also released a Red Sun Superman. It's an Elseworld story. What if Superman landed in Russia instead of the US? Really solid lineup of figures. Once again, I only get the Batman-related characters to keep sealed. That's why you don't see Red Sun Superman here. DC Multiverse Robin. He has a couple of shurikens, sword, Damian Wayne getting a figure, and he's a little bit on the large size compared to Batman. Robin from DC's Rebirth. Back, here he is posed up. Some other recent McFarlane figures. Here's the Drowned. Finally, the last one to complete that main team under Barbosa. DC Multiverse, Batman of Earth -11. Bruce Wayne, but from a different universe. Batman of Earth -11. Dark Knight's Metal. Here she is, floating in the water. Kinda an Aquaman-esque type pose. And finally, the Death Metal Batman. This is the one intended to go on that Death Metal Bat Cycle. He has a large Sith, looks really cool. DC Multiverse Batman from Dark Knight's Death Metal. This is actually a Black Lantern Batman. Bruce Wayne Batman died, and he was resurrected with the Black Lantern. Here he is on that cycle, looking awesome. Here's the Red Sun Superman out of the package. He uses some parts from the Action Comics 1000 Superman, and it's an older Elseworld story. If you haven't read the book or watched the anime movie, you might want to check it out. It's a pretty cool what-if story. What if Superman landed in Russia instead of the US, and he worked for the Communist Soviet Union? Here's this Damian Wayne out of the package. It's a pretty solid figure. It has some articulation issues in the, sort of leg area. And he has this expression which I'm not really a fan of, kind of like a spoiled, stuck-up kid. And Damian Wayne can kind of act that way at times, but I wanted a little bit more of a normal version. Here's the Batman of Earth -11, which she's really called the Drowned out of the package. This is a fantastic figure, but I think she's part of the reason that we don't get as many female or villain action figures nowadays. She's a prime example of what McFarlane says. Females and villains don't sell very well. This figure peg-warmed everywhere. Stores had tons of her. I saw her on deep discount, and no one was buying her, which boggled my mind because I think it's an awesome figure. Sculpt, articulation, accessories, paint job, it's all there. Here's the Death Metal Batman out of the package. I mean, look at this guy. I'm surprised this is not how the Todd McFarlane designed Batman looks. Big, giant leather jacket, spikes all over it. Badass looking Batman, but nothing you would see in a traditional Batman comic. They've actually released 3 different versions of this figure at this point, and they're all pretty much exactly the same. We have this one, then the Build-A-Figure wave, and then one that came with the Death Metal Batmo Beast. This year also introduced the year-long Target exclusive Build-A-Figure wave. For some reason, Target and McFarlane decided they're going to release a Build-A-Figure wave that's exclusive to Target, and that makes perfect sense, but they're going to do it where you get one figure every 3 months or so, and it takes you a full year to complete the Build-A-Figure. Frankly, that sucks. This is a fantastic wave, Batman Beyond Future's End, which is not based off the Batman Beyond TV show, but based off the Batman Beyond comic series. The design is very similar. We have Batman, Shriek, Batwoman, and Blight. Collective build, the Batman Beyond Future's End Batman Joker robot. That guy was definitely not in the cartoon. Usual packaging, Batman Beyond, collective build, Batman Future's End, figure number 1 of 4. We have the Batman Beyond Batman, Terry McGinnis. He has wings that are permanently attached, but you can heat them and take them off. Collector's card display stand, 2 batarangs, 4 hands, and then the torso of the Batman Joker robot. Batman Beyond. Here he is fighting the Batman Joker robot that you can't get for a full year. And you don't even know who the characters are at this point, which was kind of a cool concept. You know, we have the Terry McGinnis Batman, and then 3 mystery figures. Next we have Shriek, a really cool villain from the cartoon, and the figure from the comic series looks exactly the same as the cartoon version. Shriek, second figure, he's got this really cool sort of sound effect, display stand collector's card, and then the arms of the Batman Joker robot. Shriek from Batman Beyond. On the back, here are now 3 of the figures. 2 of them are still mysteries. Batwoman Beyond. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was Dick Grayson's daughter in the What If future of the Batman Beyond comics. Batarangs, there's her hands, Joker's legs. Batwoman from Batman Beyond. Here are 4 of the figures in the wave. And finally, the last figure, DC Multiverse Blight. He comes with Joker robots, wings, whatever those things are. He has 1 alternate hand, 1 energy effect hand. Now he's in this sort of Mr. Freeze type suit. It's to protect his radiation from burning everybody else, kind of like Clayface 3. But he did not look like this in the cartoon at all. I would love to get a cartoon version. Blight from Batman Beyond. Finally, the entire wave. Here's this Batman Beyond figure out of the package. I keep mine with the wings off, as I think he's going to have the wings off most of the time, just deploying them when gliding. Now this particular version is mouthless, has a smooth air where the mouth is, which is a bit less accurate to the cartoon show. Terry McGinnis, very slim, sleek body. Next, here's the Shriek figure out of the package. I love the look of the Batman Beyond villains. Very visually interesting, and Shriek is no exception. Figure looks absolutely fantastic, even though the wrist articulation is kind of weird, but it makes sense as he has these pre-post hands, utilizing the sound effects. Here's the Batwoman figure out of the package. It's a nice sort of opposite of the Batman Beyond Batman, and with the big giant eyes, kind of has a Spider-Woman look to her. Here's Blight out of the package. It's an interesting look in that armored suit. Could be a good base for a custom Mr. Freeze, but it is a pretty nice Blight figure. Nice to add another Batman rogue to the mix. Here's a closer look at the Joker Batman robot from Batman Beyond Future's End. By the entire wave, get to complete him. And one cool thing is, one side of his head, he has a Joker face, and if you flip it around, the other side has the Batman face. So the Batman Beyond Future's End Batman Joker robot was a Target exclusive wave, but they released non-exclusive variants of each of the figures. We have another regular version of Batman Beyond, and there was a Chase variant, the digitized version, but it wasn't a Platinum Chase. Not really sure why, but it wasn't labeled that way. Then we have Shriek, who's unmasked, Batman Beyond, who's unmasked, and then Blight, sort of atomic version. Terry McGinnis Batman. Now, most of these figures are less accurate to the cartoon and comics than the targeted versions, but this guy is more accurate. This one has the mouth on him. It looks a lot like Terry McGinnis from the cartoon. He has a batarang, totally different from the other ones. Extra hands, flame rocket effects for under his feet, and a flight stand. Pretty nice accessories. Batman Beyond. Batman Beyond. On the back, here he is flying above the city, and some other recent McFarlane figures. This is the digitized version. He's referred to as that because he looks all scrambled and kind of weird. Now, this was a chase variant, not a platinum chase. I think maybe they just forgot the sticker. I don't know. But it was pretty cool. And there was a later re-release, which is a glow-in-the-dark Entertainment Earth exclusive that look like this, but they are different figures, different barcodes, etc. Same accessories, but it looks pretty cool. Weird, sort of computerized, malfunctioning design. Batman Beyond, just like the regular figure. Here is Shriek Unmasked. He has two of those sound effects, and they're different shapes as the regular one. They're actually very useful accessories for figures. Shriek Unmasked from Batman Beyond. Here he is, holding those accessories. Other recent figures. Then we have Batwoman Unmasked. It's a really nice head sculpt. She has the same flame effects, batarang, etc. Batwoman Unmasked from Batman Beyond. In the back, here she is. Bunch of other recent figures. And finally, we have Blight. He has some energy effects for his hands. A little bit different dome. Blight, Bat Beyond, Atomic Edition. Here's this version of Blight. Bunch of other recent figures. Here's this version of Batman Beyond out of the package. It's the exact same figure, but a different head sculpt. This one I kept the wings on. And this is the version that you want if you want him to look like Terry McGinnis from the cartoon. This is my favorite version of Batman Beyond they made a figure of. I believe their Batman Beyond stuff was very popular and sold very well. They made a ton of different variants, and I'm surprised we never had an unmasked version. Here's the Chase digitized version of Batman Beyond. These were a big pain in the ass to get hold of. My buddy Corey found me one locally, and the other one took a lot of hunting online. But I got them both for a very fair price. Almost retail. Here's the unmasked Shriek figure out of the package. He's another one that peg warmed like crazy. I saw tons and tons and tons of this figure at Walmart. And like pretty much all of the McFarlane DC Multiverse unmasked figures, I made Shriek in civilian attire. He wore a black outfit kind of like this in the cartoon. Here's the unmasked Batwoman Beyond out of the package. The head sculpt is just fantastic. It'd be great for Selena Kyle or Lois Lane. A lot of different options here. And I used her head sculpt for a couple of customs. On the left, we have a Lois Lane, and on the right, an unmasked Ratcatcher 2 from the Suicide Squad. It also would be great for Talia, Selena Kyle, and many others. Here's the Atomic Edition of Blight out of the package. The dome's a little bit different, and he has a really cool hand effect. The hand is exposed, and you can actually put it around the neck of a figure, pop their head off, put that hand there, put the head back on. It looks like he's choking him with his radiation and burning energy. And while they were doing the Target exclusive Build-A-Figure wave, there was a wide release Build-A-Figure wave based off a Batman comic, Batman: The Last Night on Earth. It's sort of an Elseworld story, a what-if future story where Batman became a totalitarian dictatorship, and then a clone of Batman had to become the new Batman and defeat Omega. It's a pretty weird, interesting story, and it made for some pretty cool figures. DC Multiverse Scarecrow, Collect to Build Bane. This is the first figure. Here's Scarecrow, about the weirdest version of Scarecrow you could ever imagine. It's just the torso with these giant needles for fingers. Giant Bane torso included, and he's a flight stand. Scarecrow from Batman: Last Night on Earth. Here he is, riding on the back of Bane and the rest of the wave. Then we have Wonder Woman. Her outfit looks pretty much like Wonder Woman, but she has a shaved head and a mohawk. Very unusual. She has a sword, Bane's giant arms. Wonder Woman, Collect to Build Bane. Wonder Woman, Last Night on Earth. Here she is. Then we have Batman, Collect to Build Bane. Technically, this is a clone of Batman. He has Joker's head and a little jar, a baton. He's in sort of a straitjacket, Arkham-type outfit. Bane's hands and head. Batman from Batman: Last Night on Earth. Here he is walking through the desert, carrying Joker's head in a jar. And then we have Omega, this is what the original Batman became in this universe. Bane's legs, and don't get me started on Bane's legs. Alternate hands. Omega from Last Night on Earth. And here he is on the back. Looking badass. Kind of like Batman. Here's Scarecrow out of the package. What a weird choice for the first Scarecrow figure. I remember when it came out, I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, that looks weird, creepy. But we can't get a regular Scarecrow first. He's on the flight stand here. Kind of reminds me of the Arkham Knight as far as the hands, but way more exaggerated. And this red dome comes off, exposing a really creepy face. Here's this Wonder Woman out of the package. Now you may wonder, why did you get the Wonder Woman sealed? That's not really a Batman-related character. Well, it's part of the Batman Last on Earth wave. Collectible Bane. So it's from a Batman story. It says Batman in the package, and it has parts of Bane in the package. Wonder Woman looks pretty good, but the Mohawk thing definitely threw me off. I've gotten used to it over time, but it's definitely not a traditional look for Diana. Here's this Batman out of the package. It's a very interesting Batman figure. He's in a straitjacket, W for Wayne on the front. If you really wanted to, you could probably head swap and make different inmates. And then we have Omega. This is pretty much an older, evil version of Batman, and that is something McFarlane has gotten really good at, making evil Batman figures. Buy the entire wave, and you get to build Bane. A massive, intimidating Bane. The sculpt is fantastic, articulation is quite limited, but the paint job, why did they make his skin gray? He didn't even look like this in the comics. I don't understand why they did this. I've seen some people repaint this guy with flesh colors, green veins for Venom, and it looks great. Now, there was a big problem with his legs. Legs didn't stay on very well. They fell off way too easily, didn't quite lock into place, unless you were lucky or successful at heating him up, doing all kind of stuff. This was sort of a strike from McFarlane, and they've done pretty good on the build of figures for the most part, besides Bane. They also made this single release of Wonder Woman. This is a Target exclusive, and this is Wonder Woman wearing the helmet of Dr. Fate. A really cool idea for a figure, sort of a hero mashup, and it was accurate to the comic. DC Multiverse Wonder Woman. Dr. Fate's helmet is the main difference. Wonder Woman with Helmet of Fate. Here she is posed up. Some other recent figures. And here's this Wonder Woman out of the package, wearing the Helmet of Fate. And if you want to heat it up and take the helmet off, you can, but her face is unfinished underneath. They also made this giant box set from Batman Last Night on Earth. This was a 5-pack containing all the figures. Scarecrow, Wonder Woman, Batman, Omega, and then a fully assembled Bane. This was, I believe, a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive. It's a terrible value. It's a great package, great presentation, but if you break it down, the original price, it actually costs more per figure to get it this way than individually, and usually you get a price break when you buy in bulk. This thing was definitely clearanced over time. I would have bought 2 of these if there were any differences with the figures from this box set and the original releases, which there are not. This is one of, I believe, 3 different box sets I did like this, and I don't think they did well because they stopped making them. Like I said, I would have bought another one if they may have some new accessories, some paint differences, something, but they're 100% identical. Giant box set. Batman, Last Night on Earth. Batman, Wonder Woman, Bane, Scarecrow, and Omega. One side of the package, Batman, Last Night on Earth. On the back, you can see all the figures posted up and each of the different figures. This one actually still has the original tape seal, never been opened before, and I don't plan to do it today. Here's the contents from this exclusive 5-pack. Now, I didn't get 2 of the 5-packs, so we have the one in the package here. And these 5 figures are from the single releases, but I compared them online. The only thing you get from this 5-pack is a collector's card for each of the figures, which you got originally, but you didn't get one for Bane, and that is not worth buying this thing again for. Like I said, I would have gladly bought it again if there was something different with the figures, but there's not. They release this allegedly red version of the White Knight Batman, but he damn sure looks orange to me. This is a Target exclusive, at least at first, but I definitely saw the guy at Meijer 6 months later. He gives me a big-time Catman vibe. DC Multiverse Batman, Bat Rope, Tied Up Bat Rope, Grapnel Launcher, Batman from Batman the White Knight, Red Edition. Damn sure looks orange to me. Backside, here he is. I believe he's from this cover here, sort of red tint. Here's this White Knight Batman out of the package. Totally gives me a Catman vibe. They released this one-off, not part of a traditional wave. It was a gold repaint of Batman in his helmet armor. This is somehow made for the Chinese New Year, and it's a color scheme like that. Why? I have no idea. But it makes for a pretty cool variant, and I love Batman the Hellbat, and having a couple different variations at this point is nice. DC Multiverse Batman. He has the large wings back there, very heavy figure. Batman, Hellbat, Gold Edition. Here's on the back in the gold suit, and a bunch of other recent McFarlane figures. And then this gold version of Batman in the Hellbat armor, wings expanded, out of the package. Then they released another traditional wave. This wave consisted of the Infected Nightwing, the Flashpoint Batman Unmasked, and we also got the John Stewart Green Lantern, and Bizarro. Here are the Batman-related figures, still sealed. DC Multiverse Nightwing. It's the same sculpt as the Rebirth Nightwing, and it's done in the New 52 red colors, but this one has a Jokerized head sculpt. Nightwing from Death of the Family. Here's Nightwing for the New 52, not Jokerized. Odd they would use that as a source material. And some other recent McFarlane Batman figures. Then we have the unmasked Thomas Wayne. Now, of course, everyone wanted the masked version, but that was a Target exclusive. Nowhere else had that. Big Bad Toy Store, Walmart, everyone else got this version. He has a sword, which is kind of unique, but he still has the guns. DC Multiverse, Batman Unmasked. Batman Unmasked from Flashpoint. They show the masked version on the back, and a bunch of other recent McFarlane figures. Here's John Stewart. At the time, it was a fantastic release, but nowadays the body feels quite a bit dated. And then here's Bizarro. This is not the version of Bizarro that I wanted, but they've made another one since then. I believe this is a New 52 version with that sort of military haircut that I think looks awful on him. Here's this Infected Nightwing. He has this very specific look with the Joker smile, the white face, the red lips. It's like a Jokerized Nightwing. And this is before they're even doing Jokerized figures. Now, I don't believe Nightwing looked like this in the comic, but simply on a cover. Here's the unmasked Thomas Wayne Flashpoint Batman. I much prefer the masked version, but it's cool to have these different variants as well. And like I do on pretty much all the McFarlane unmasked DC figures, I made Thomas Wayne in civilian attire. Here he is in a business suit. Imagine him from a different universe coming in and claiming the Wayne fortune. Fingerprints and DNA would match. Around the same time, they also released the Injustice 2 gaming wave. This is their second gaming wave, Arkham Asylum first, and now Injustice. This is the Barry Allen Flash based off the Injustice 2 video game. They also released a Gorilla Grodd in gold armor from Injustice 2. It's a larger figure, not as big as a Mega figure, but still pretty cool to get a bigger figure like this for a regular figure price. They made a Platinum Chase variant of Gorilla Grodd. This one has the silver armor. I thought that was a pretty cool concept. I wanted to find a few of the silver armor figures to use as guerrilla soldiers in Gorilla Grodd's army. And that's just what I did. I got impatient and bought the first one on eBay. Then my buddy found one locally, hooked me up, and then I found one locally, and had my army. They released the Flash of Earth -52, which is the Red Death. Red Death never had a single version, and this is a gold version. This is a gold label, and it is a Walmart exclusive. In the comic, Bruce Wayne took over Barry Allen's body and became the Red Death in an evil Dark Knight multiverse. And then this gold version is when Barry Allen retook his body and took control and joined the side of the heroes again. The Flash of Earth -52, gold label. Flash of Earth -52 from Dark Knight's Metal. Here he is running, and a bunch of other McFarlane figures. Here's just Red Death, or Flash, or Batman, whatever you want to call him. The suit's pretty cool. Batman Flash hybrid, even has the bat symbol with a lightning bolt going through the middle. Here's the Death Metal Dark Father wave. we have Robin King, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, the death metal trinity. DC Multiverse, Robin King, collect to build Darkfather. Darkfather is basically a Batman Darkseid hybrid from the Dark Knight's Metal, and Robin King here is actually another evil version of Bruce Wayne. Robin King from Dark Knight's Metal. Here's Robin King, rest of the wave, and the Darkfather. Then we have the Death Metal Superman. I am personally not a fan of this look at all. Superman, Dark Knight's Death Metal. Here's in the back. We have the Death Metal Wonder Woman. Also not a huge fan, but I like her better than Superman. Darkfather's head and cape. She has her chainsaw, lasso. Wonder Woman, Dark Knight's Metal. On the back, posts up, lightning behind her. And then we have Batman here. Now, this is pretty much the exact same death metal Batman we had before, except this one has one slightly different hand. He also has a guitar, which is actually Plastic Man. Batman, Dark Knight's Death Metal. Here he is playing his guitar. You can imagine them all in a band. Death metal band, of course. Here's the Robin King out of the package. The Crown of Thorns kind of has a sort of Jesus thing going on. Not really feeling it. Here's a Superman of the package. One stone arm. Just not feeling the way it looks. Big, giant Jay Leno chin. Here's the Death Metal Wonder Woman. Gives me big Barda vibes. Here's the Death Metal Batman out of the package. Same old, but he has a slightly different gripping hand to hold the guitar properly. Annoying when they would force you to buy a figure you already had to complete a Build-A-Figure wave. Here's the Darkfather, Darkseid Batman combination. That is a terrifying thought. The force of Darkseid with the wits and skill of Batman. Around this time, they released Zack Snyder's Justice League, the movie, 4-hour-long extended version. And I saw Todd McFarlane saying he was not planning to make any figures from the DC Cinematic Universe. They've been done to death. And then bam, we got a whole wave, and I was really happy we did. Here are all 3 different variations of the Ben Affleck, Batman, Batfleck in the package. They also made a couple of versions of Flash, a couple of versions of Superman, Aquaman, a couple of versions of Cyborg, a couple of versions of Darkseid, and Steppenwolf. They never actually released a Wonder Woman for Zack Snyder's Justice League, but we had the 84 that came out last year. Here's the regular version of Batman. This is him in his tactical suit. I wish they made the regular Justice League suit. Maybe eventually they will. He has a Batarang. 2021. DC Multiverse Batman. Batman from Justice League. Back, here he is posed up, and here's the rest of the league. Then we have the Platinum Chase variant, and this is Batman with the goggles down. I think this is a good choice for Platinum Chase variant, as I prefer the goggles down. This is guy's goggles up, which he did have in the movie a couple times. But I imagine when Batman is active, doing his thing, fighting, he'll have the goggles down. Platinum Chase Edition. Batman Justice League. Same thing on the back. And here's the unmasked version. This is originally an Entertainment Earth exclusive. This one does have a different accessory, which is a grapple launcher, but they all have the same Batarang. Batman Unmasked from Justice League. Here's the regular version of Batman from Zack Snyder's Justice League. They made him in his tactical suit, but I wish they also made the regular suit as well. They did a pretty good job with the Ben Affleck, Batfleck likeness, the dimple and everything. Here's the Platinum Chase version with the goggles up, both in and out of the package. And then here's the unmasked version. And it really doesn't look like Ben Affleck at all, but it looks like a great comic Bruce Wayne. And like I often do, I got an extra one of these figures to head swap and made Bruce Wayne in civilian attire. They released both a red and blue Target exclusive version of Superman and a wide release black suit version from Zack Snyder's Justice League. They also released 2 versions of the Barry Allen Flash, one wide release and one was a Speed Force Target exclusive. They also released 2 versions of Cyborg, a wide release and then an armored Walmart exclusive. Aquaman was the only one that didn't get a variant, and they could have easily done a shirtless release. They also released 2 versions of Darkseid. These were mega figures, and this was the introduction of the mega figure in the McFarlane line. We have the armored version that was a Target exclusive, and then the shirtless wide release. They also released Steppenwolf, the newer CGI version from Zack Snyder's Justice League. They released another Build-A-Figure wave. This is based off the movie The Suicide Squad, which is a fun movie and makes for some pretty good figures. We have Polka Dot Man, Unmasked Bloodsport, and Harley Quinn. You may wonder, where's Peacemaker? Well, Peacemaker and Bloodsport are not really Batman related, so I didn't think I needed them to be sealed in the package. Polka Dot Man is an obscure Bat Rogue, and Harley Quinn is obviously a Batman character. I got this Unmasked Bloodsport for free from Walmart. I ordered one, and they ended up sending me it twice, so I just kept it opened. Polka Dot Man, never thought we'd get a figure of him. He's got removable goggles, polka dot stuff, a different alternate wrist thing, and King Shark parts. Collect to build King Shark, Polka Dot Man from The Suicide Squad. Here he is on the back. Unmasked Bloodsport. This guy was a Walmart exclusive. There was also an Unmasked Peacemaker, and he was a Target exclusive. Back. King Shark. And then Harley Quinn in her red dress. It would have been cool if they made her from the outfit at the beginning of the movie, but I'll take what I can get. Collective build King Shark, Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. Here is Polka Dot Man out of the package. Love that they made this obscure Bat Rogue. Here's the Unmasked Bloodsport out of the package. Likeness, a little weak. And then we have Harley Quinn out of the package. I like the red dress, but it would have been cool if we got more than one version of her. They also made both a masked and unmasked Bloodsport, and both a masked and unmasked Peacemaker. The John Cena likeness is pretty soft. And if you bought the entire wave, get a collective build King Shark. King Shark is a large, oversized deluxe figure. They released him as a Build-A-Figure with blue shorts, and they also released him as a Walmart exclusive Mega Figure with plaid shorts and a bloody mouth. So they gave us the full team of 5 figures from the end of the Suicide Squad. And when I say full team, it's not the full team, because we're missing the Ratcatcher 2. And that didn't fly by me, so my buddy made me a version of the Ratcatcher 2, completing the team. And once again, as usual, I did take these unmasked versions of Peacemaker and Bloodsport, bought extra ones, and made civilian versions of each of the characters. Next we have the White Knight Batcycle, another Batcycle, but this is a more of a traditional version, right up my alley. DC Multiverse Batcycle. So then they released the White Knight Batcycle. Finally, a normal looking Batcycle for your Batman armory. It's a little bit odd to release the White Knight Batcycle the year after the White Knight figures, but I'm happy to have it nonetheless. DC Multiverse Batcycle. Here it is in the front. It's a normal looking Bat vehicle, and I really appreciate that compared to the weird skeleton death metal Batcycle we had before. Batcycle from Curse of the White Knight. On the back, Batman on the Cycle. A bunch of other recent McFarlane figures. Here's this White Knight Batcycle out of the package. Looks pretty good. Giant exhaust, giant back wheel, handlebars, and it has this interesting feature where it can be a lot shorter, and it can also sort of extend out. It looks a little better like this, if you ask me. I did get 4 of the White Knight Batcycles. I figured I could give one to Batman, one to Nightwing, one to Robin, one to Batgirl, so on and so forth. And with the game Gotham Knights coming around just a corner, all 4 of those characters had Batcycles in that, so it seemed like it was a match made in heaven, and they all fit on these bikes just fine. Here are a couple of Target exclusive figures. We have the Dark Knight's Metal Batman with battle damage, and then Ink as Batman Beyond. These are a couple of cool figures, variants of existing figures. Dark Knight's Metal Batman. He had damage, but it wasn't very much, and it wasn't painted in. I saw a lot of people do custom work to fix that, and I think McFarlane saw that as well. And so they released this guy with the scratches, painted in with blood, etc., etc. And then we have Ink as Batman Beyond. It's basically a repaint of the Batman Beyond. Ink is a pretty cool villain. She's a shapeshifter, but they decided to go cheap and just make Ink pose as Batman, making an easy repaint. Although I imagine most people buy this figure just to use it as a different variation of the Batman Beyond suit. Batman with battle damage. He's got 2 axes, bloodied up. Batman with battle damage, Dark Knight's Metal. Here he is on the back, and some other recent McFarlane figures. And we also have Ink as Batman Beyond. I really hope they give us a normal version of Ink in the future. Here's this Dark Knight's Metal Batman out of the package. It has a lot of things that are improved over the first release. The inside of the cape is purple instead of just black. He's got all these scratches, but they're actually filled in with blood this time. Much better release. And then here's Ink as Batman Beyond out of the package. Took the wings off this one as well. It's another Batman Beyond villain. Sort of. I'd really rather have Ink in her main look, though. They continued their Injustice 2 line around this time. They give us the Injustice 2 version of Dr. Fate. We have both the regular and the Platinum Chase versions. The Platinum one has a lighter blue and is a little bit closer to the comic color scheme. It was around this time they also released the Todd McFarlane designed Wonder Woman. We have the Todd McFarlane designed Batman, Todd McFarlane designed Wonder Woman, and I was expecting to get a Todd McFarlane designed Superman, but he never released that. Wonder Woman looks pretty good. Not as many spikes as Batman. Armor pieces. You can see it's based off a traditional Wonder Woman, but altered and stylized by Todd McFarlane. We have the regular and the gold label, which was a Walmart exclusive. Then they made the Rebirth Superman. The Action Comics 1000 Superman is a fantastic figure, but he's more in the classic traditional look. The Rebirth Superman is his Rebirth look with no red trunks. The figure is decent, but it has a lot of flaws. It's done on the infected body, and my god, the boots, they were so lazy. They took these sculpted boots and literally painted a red line above it where the boots should have been. Horrendous. In addition to that, this was the introduction of the unpainted, artist-proof Platinum Chase variant. All gray, unpainted figures. Personally, I am not a fan of these. I don't think they look good at all. Yes, you can see the sculpt and appreciate it with no paint on there, but it's like cheaper for McFarlane to make these unpainted figures, and then they go for quite a bit more on the secondary market. I'm really happy they stopped doing these things. They also released a Lobo figure, a little bit larger than your average figure, but for the same price. He looks great. He's big. They also did the Platinum Chase variant, unpainted, artist-proof. They released a variant of Flash from Injustice 2. This is in a white suit, and it's called Hot Pursuit Flash, although it could be a good fill-in for Godspeed. And they also released an infected Shazam. This guy's called King Shazam, and it's from a similar storyline as the infected Superman. It looks good, but at this point, where's the regular Shazam? They also made Etrigan the Demon. I'm a huge fan of the Etrigan character, but they made this weird version for the New 52 wearing medieval armor, not in his normal look. I'm still hoping to get a normal version of Etrigan by McFarlane. They also released some more gold label Walmart exclusive figures. We have the unmasked Red Hood, Azrael in his Suit of Sorrows, and then Azrael as Batman Armor, the Silver Edition. These are all variants of existing figures: Red Hood, White Knight Azrael, and the armored White Knight Azrael. Gold label, Walmart exclusive, DC Multiverse Red Hood Unmasked. Pretty cool having the unmasked Red Hood. A lot of people said it looked like Terry McGinnis, and I can sort of see it. Red Hood unmasked from the New 52. On the back side, here's the unmasked Red Hood. He's holding a specific sword, a little magical sword he used, and a bunch of other recent McFarlane figures. Then we have Azrael. He's done in a white and black suit. This is definitely the Michael Lane suit from the comics, but it's advertised as Jean-Paul Valley. DC Multiverse Azrael. He has his Sword of Sin. And I love the original Red Azrael figure, and this one is really good too. Azrael, Suit of Sorrows. Here he is posed up on the side of a building, and some other recent McFarlane figures. Then we have Azrael in Batman armor. This is the silver variant. Also has the Sword of Sin without the fire. This guy was in a wave with the gold label Wonder Woman. Azrael, Batman armor from Batman Curse of the White Knight, Silver Edition. Here he is posed on the top of a building, and some other recent McFarlane figures. Here's the unmasked Red Hood, Jason Todd out of the package. And as usual, I did get an extra one of the unmasked Jason Todd figures, and I made Jason Todd in civilian attire. Used a McFarlane cyberpunk figure, and it fits in great scale and style-wise. Here's the Azrael in his Suit of Sorrows out of the package. He has that black and white with the red suit. It's definitely based off the Michael Lane look. That's exactly how he looked in the comics. McFarlane DC Azrael to replace Sean Paul Valley after he died in the comics. He was also in Arkham City and Arkham Knight. And then we also have Azrael in his Batman armor from Curse of the White Knight. This is the silver edition. I much prefer the black one, but it's a cool variant nonetheless. They finally released this Harley Quinn figure from Birds of Prey. This figure was pictured on the back of the first wave from well over a year ago. Rumor is Margot Robbie didn't like the figure, so they went back and redesigned it, got her approval. Not sure if that's true or not, but we finally got the figure. DC Multiverse, Harley Quinn. She has a mallet and an egg sandwich. Harley Quinn from Birds of Prey. Here she is posed up with a mallet and some other recent McFarlane figures. Here's this figure out of the package. It actually looks pretty good. The face looks good, the hair looks good, paint job's nice, overalls look good. The only thing I'd complain about is I wish she had some alternate feet instead of the roller skates. They started on the Dark Knight Returns Batman comic. This is Batman in his armored suit when he fought Superman. But it's done in sort of a weird, almost Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice color scheme. DC Multiverse, Armored Batman. He's got alternate hands, nothing else. Armored Batman from Batman The Dark Knight Returns. The back, here he is posed up in a ruined city. Other recent McFarlane figures. And here's this Batman out of the package. Kind of like Turtle Shell Batman. Big, round torso area. He looks good, but he's the wrong color. And a little bit of the wrong style for the comics. Then they released Batman in his hazmat suit. This came out in 2021, and I like to call this guy Anti-COVID Batman. All the other lines make Anti-Fire Batman, Anti-Ice Batman, Anti-Crime Batman, etc. Anti-COVID Batman makes perfect sense. But this is Batman in his hazmat suit from the Amazo virus, and it's a good-looking figure. We have the regular version here, and then later they made a Target exclusive that can light up. It only cost $2 more. DC Multiverse, Batman in his hazmat suit. No traditional accessories, but a really good-looking sculpt. Batman in his hazmat suit from Justice League, the Amazo virus. Here he is in a room. A bunch of other recent McFarlane figures. Then we have the Gold Label version, which has a superior paint job, not just the light-up effect, but everything's done just so much better in this guy, and it's only $2 more. Gold Label, Target exclusive, Batman in his hazmat suit, light-up Batman symbol, Batman hazmat suit, Justice League Amazo virus. Here he is posed up in a similar type room, and a bunch of other recent McFarlane figures. Here's the hazmat suit Batman out of the package. It's a really sharp figure, and it makes sense for Batman to wear a hazmat suit depending on the circumstances. Then we have the light-up version of the hazmat suit Batman. Not only does it have this really nice light-up effect, but the paint job is so much better in this guy. He's got weathering, he's got silver on the armored parts. It just blows the other one out of the water. Around that same time, they released Lex Luthor in his power suit. Fantastic release. About time we got Lex Luthor, and I hope we get him in a business suit soon. They released a variant of Lex Luthor, and this is Lex Luthor taken over by Darkseid. He has a Superman suit that he wore at one point in the comics. He came with a really cool throne for Darkseid. They actually made that Lex Luthor in the Superman suit, but that guy didn't come out till 2022. They made an animated version of the Wally West Flash. This is technically based off of his appearance in Superman the Animated Series, but he looks exactly the same in Justice League Unlimited, getting us closer to the Justice League in animated form, but they never really made any more members after this guy. They also made Superboy Prime. He's in his sort of powered-up suit. Superboy Prime is a good guy or a bad guy, depending on which story. Typically, I consider him a villain. This figure was very unpopular, and I saw him clearanced everywhere. Around this time, they released Swamp Thing. He was the next mega figure after Darkseid and Steppenwolf. He was in a wave by himself. He's super tall and looks absolutely fantastic. Great sculpt, good paint job. I've seen people customize him with a much better paint job, but it's pretty good. He has that signature sort of mustache look. And then, of course, they made the dumb, unpainted version as well. Near the end of 2021, they released a wave based off the best-selling comic, Batman, The Three Jokers. A really fantastic end of the year. We have Batman, Red Hood, Batgirl, and then three Jokers. The comedian, the criminal, and the clown. So here's Batman. This was their best Batman figure to date at the point. He's a little bit too tall. It's on the Three Jokers Batman body, which is used for most of the Hush body as well. He has a grapnel launcher. DC Multiverse Batman. Batman from Batman 3 Jokers. You can see the logo up there. And in the back, Batman posed up on a rooftop, Bat-Sitter behind him, and some other recent McFarlane figures. Then we have Red Hood. A little bit different than the New 52 figure. He has a crowbar and a completely different design. I love the torso with those buckles on it. Kind of Robin-esque. DC Multiverse Red Hood. Red Hood from Batman 3 Jokers. And in the back, here he is posed up in the night sky. And here is Batgirl. Barbara Gordon Batgirl, a little bit better than the original release. A little bit shorter, darker colors, Batarang, grapnel launcher, DC Multiverse Batgirl from 3 Jokers. Here she is on the back, grappling down the side of a building. Other recent McFarlane figures. Here is the Comedian Joker, and this is going to be probably the best figure in the wave. And of course, that's the one they decided to make a Walmart and GameStop exclusive. Very, very hard to come by, worth a lot of money now. I personally never saw this figure in stores. Kind of Killing Joke looking figure. He's got the trench coat, the top hat, camera, and crowbar. The Joker, the Comedian, from Batman 3 Jokers. On the back, here he is, going down an alleyway, and a bunch of other McFarlane toys. Then we have the Joker, the Criminal. Kind of a basic looking Joker figure. He has sort of a sad face. He has a cane. The Joker, the Criminal from Batman 3 Jokers. Walking with his cane. And finally, the Clown. He's in sort of a pink outfit. Kind of gives me a 60s vibe. He has a laughing fish and a crowbar. The Joker, the Clown from Batman 3 Jokers. The back, here he is, holding the fish. I think it's really cool to have all 3 of those Jokers together. Very, very solid wave. Here's this Batman out of the package. Like I said, when he was released, it was the best Batman figure in the line. Right now, my 2 favorite Batman figures are the Nightfall Batman and the Hush Batman. 3 Jokers is not too far behind. Here's the 3 Jokers Red Hood out of the package. It's a nice figure. The legs are the same as the New 52 version, but the torso, the jacket, the head are different. I do prefer the New 52 one, but this is a very solid Red Hood as well. And here's the 3 Jokers Batgirl out of the package. A little bit of an improvement over the previous Batgirl. Her legs are redone, she's a little bit shorter, she's in darker colors. And of course, a 3 Joker storyline. Batman, Red Hood, and Barbara Gordon all have some serious, significant ties to the Joker. Here's this Comedian Joker out of the package. Fantastic Joker figure. Probably my favorite in the McFarlane line. My complaints about him would be, he was really hard to get, GameStop and Walmart exclusive. His articulation is a little bit prohibited from the jacket, and then he has this dark line or sort of shadow on his eyes where the hat would be. Here's the Criminal Joker out of the package. A little bit more of a standard, all-purpose Joker. Purple suit. Only thing different, he has sort of a sad face. And then we have the Clown Joker. He's got a big smiling face, more of a pink and purple outfit. I don't know if you guys can tell, but all 3 of those Joker figures utilize the same base body underneath. And while technically not part of the McFarlane DC Multiverse line, McFarlane made a couple of Joker figures in their Mortal Kombat 11 line. It was like a DLC character you could pick in that game, and it fits right in with McFarlane figures. I love how this one says ages 14 plus. This is not a toy. And right across it says McFarlane Toys. Mortal Kombat 11, the Joker. He has a Joker cane and a knife. Mortal Kombat 11, the Joker. Here's on the back, posed up with his cane. Fantastic Joker figure. Then we also have the bloodied version. Everything else is exactly the same, but he's got blood on his shirt and his accessories. Here's the regular Mortal Kombat 11 Joker out of the package. It's a toss-up between this one and the Comedian, which one is my favorite Joker of this year. And here's the bloodied up version of the Mortal Kombat 11 Joker. A very nice variant of a very nice original figure. And finally, here are the McFarlane DC Multiverse 2 packs they released in 2021. First of all, we have Devastator vs. Superman, Hal Jordan vs. Dawnbreaker, and Azrael versus the White Knight Batman. So for starters, the Dark Knight's Metal Pack. DC Multiverse, Batman of Earth -1, and Superman. Batman of Earth -1 is Devastator, and that is a straight-up re-release of the first version, although it has a slighter light paint job. This is the Action Comics 1000 Superman, but this one has an angry face. Batman of Earth -1 and Superman. The back, here they are, posed up, locked in combat, and a bunch of other recent McFarlane figures. Then we have this Green Lantern theme pack, continuing Dark Knight's Metal. DC Multiverse, Batman of Earth -32, and Green Lantern. Dawnbreaker, and this is the only way to get Hal Jordan for a very, very long time. Batman of Earth -32 and Green Lantern Hal Jordan. Back, here are the two of them in space, fighting. And the last two-pack, continuing the theme of one re-release and one new figure. Re-release, Azrael as Batman armor, and then they gave us the White Knight Batman with no cape and some harnesses for his swords. Batman versus Azrael in Batman armor. Batman versus Azrael in Batman armor from Batman Curse of the White Knight. And in the back, here they are posed up. They came with this fantastic fiery sort of base. Here is Devastator and Superman out of the package. It's a re-release of Devastator and a slightly tweaked Action Comics 1000 Superman. Here is Hal Jordan Green Lantern and Bruce Wayne Green Lantern as Dawnbreaker out of the package. Surprised we never got a single release of Hal Jordan like this. He's a main member of the Justice League, and to make you buy this 2-pack is kind of insulting. And then a straight-up re-release of Dawnbreaker. Hal Jordan here does utilize the same body as John Stewart, but it works okay. And finally, here's Azrael in Batman armor next to the White Knight Batman. Straight up re-release of Azrael, and then Batman looking worse than the single release. No cape, no butterfly rings, and this weird harness for his swords. But you got this awesome fiery base. So that was a look at all the 2021 McFarlane DC Multiverse releases. Good times back then. They were going very strong in 2020 and 2021, and then things got a little bit out of control in 2022 with all the different variants and re-releases and reuse and all that stuff that McFarlane stood for not doing in the first couple of years. Their output, boy, has it increased for 2021 compared to 2020. Man, they hit the ground running, and boy, they took off big time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be doing Year 3 in the near future, although that one's going to take quite a while. Their output has increased even more at that point. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure collection and action figure videos from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is dHunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.